Hey babe, how are you today?
Lisa kissed Caleb on the cheek.
I'm hungry.
Caleb laughed.
Where do you want to go?
I have been craving tacos all day. Is that good for you?
She gave him the puppy dog eyes and playful pout that she knew he couldn't resist.
That sounds great, actually.
Caleb agreed. They climbed into the car and drove to Perro Salado.
So, what have you been up to all day?
Lisa asked.
I haven't heard from you.
Sorry about that. I meant to call. Roger and I were out on his boat today. It was really good to see him.
Caleb explained.
Oh, I didn't know he was coming down today.
Lisa probed.
It would have been nice to see him.
Yeah, it was kind of a last-minute thing.
Caleb said.
Next time, you can tag along.
Lisa folded her arms over her chest.
Tag along,
She huffed.
Sorry, sweetie. Roger wanted it to be a guy's only thing today.
Caleb fibbed. They pulled in at the restaurant. Caleb opened the door for her, and they went inside. They sat down at a table and ordered 2 of the house margaritas, 2 taco plates, 1 chicken and 1 steak, and a side of Mexican street corn to share. While they waited for the food to arrive, Caleb reached across the table and grabbed her hand.
Remember the other night when we were on the beach and saw that ship in the fog? I know it was probably just a trick of the moonlight and shadows, but ever since then I haven't been sleeping well.
Caleb admitted.
In fact, I have been having nightmares. I keep seeing Robert Blake. He claims that I have something that belongs to him. I have no clue what he is talking about, but he tries to kill me, and I wake up.
Lisa squeezed his hand.
I'm sure it's nothing, babe. Just your imagination running wild.
She gave him a sly look.
Maybe I can help you imagine something else.
She giggled and pulled her hand away. The food arrived, and they chatted a bit longer. Lisa gently ran the toe of her shoe up the inside of his calf.
Anything else I can get for you?
The waitress asked. Caleb nearly jumped in his seat.
Just the bill, please.
He said, trying to hide his embarrassment. The waitress returned with the check. Caleb paid the tab, and they headed back to Lisa's apartment. Lisa opened the door, and they went inside. The 1-bedroom apartment was fairly spacious and minimally furnished. Lisa was a simple girl with simple tastes. She pushed Caleb down on the couch and straddled his lap.
Let's see what we can do about those dreams of yours.
She breathed heavily into his ear, biting the lobe ever so gently. She trailed her tongue down the side of his neck to where it met the collar of his shirt. Her lips soon covered his in a deeply passionate kiss. As she pulled away, she ran her tongue across his upper lip. Caleb gasped for breath.
That's a good start.
He panted. They made out on the couch for what seemed like ages, cuddling and caressing each other. Lisa glanced down at her phone.
Hopefully that will help you. I know my dreams will be better.
She whispered.
I need to get some sleep. I have work in the morning.
Caleb moaned his disapproval, but he knew things wouldn't progress farther anyway. They got up from the couch and straightened out their clothes. She gave him one final kiss and locked the door behind him. Caleb drove home with the taste of Lisa's kiss still on his lips. She had definitely filled his mind with other thoughts, but he respected her wish to save themselves for marriage. He picked up the clothes he had carelessly thrown on the bathroom floor earlier and tossed them into the hamper after taking the iron ring from his jeans pocket. Caleb sat down at his desk and flipped on the LED desk lamp. He spun the ring around slowly in his fingers, examining it closely. The band was simple, hammered iron. It was about 1/4 of an inch wide and was in surprisingly good condition. Other than the dried clay that was stuck to it, there were minimal signs of rust. Leaving the ring on the desk, Caleb went to the kitchen and came back with a small Tupperware bowl filled with warm water and a small amount of dish soap and a cotton dish towel. He grabbed an old toothbrush from the bathroom drawer. Once again he sat at the desk. He dipped the brush into the soapy water. He gently brushed away the dirt from the outside of the ring, then the inside of the ring, drying it off with the towel. When he was satisfied that it was clean, he examined the ring again. The dark metal seemed to absorb all the light in the room. Caleb was still unable to make out the inscription on the inside of the band. Moving it closer to the light, he could see that some of the markings had worn away. Caleb knew that the words were not in English and typed them into the translation tool on his computer. Nar her ra di u ar do las thu, that God will never grant you peace. Caleb dropped the ring to the floor in disbelief.
This must have something to do with Blake's return,
He thought to himself. He retrieved the ring from under the desk, leery to touch it. Wrapping it in the towel, he went to his closet and locked it away inside a small fireproof safe. Caleb needed more information about the cursed treasure. In the morning, he would have to go back to the museum.
Haverston has to know more about this.
He thought. Caleb spent the next few hours in front of his computer trying to find the origin of the words inscribed on the ring. From what he gathered, it was a Gaelic phrase that was used mainly in Ireland.
But why would someone want it on a ring?
One article really stuck out to him. It was the tale of an Irish aristocrat known as the Witch of Kilkenny. The woman was said to have gained her wealth through the means of black magic. She had been married 4 times and was rumored to have murdered each of her husbands. She fled to England to escape her trial of heresy and witchcraft and having had sexual relations with a demon. Her whereabouts are unknown to this day. Caleb shut the lid on the laptop and stretched his arms over his head. He let out a big yawn.
One more thing to ask Haverston about tomorrow.
Caleb slipped out of his clothes and crawled into bed. He thought about what Lisa had said and done earlier. A broad smile spread across his face. In no time, he was fast asleep. A trickle of blood flowed from his lips as Blake twisted the sword in his chest.
I don't like to repeat myself.
Blake sneered. He yanked the sword from Caleb's chest. Blood flowed like a river from the wound, but Caleb felt nothing. Blake growled loudly.
That removes my last doubt that you have my ring. Now where is it?
He demanded. Caleb touched his hand to the gaping wound in his chest. He said nothing. Blake's temper subsided a bit.
That ring is the key to the curse that ties me here, and now it seems you are bound to it as well. Like it or not, we need to work together.
Caleb blinked. Was he truly bound to this curse now, too?
I think I have finally found a way to break the spell, but I need to have that ring.
Blake turned away.
I am tired.
He said to the night air,
300 years my soul has been tied to this earth because I was foolish. I failed to heed the warnings. My greed steered my hand and blinded my soul.
Caleb listened to the mournful words that Blake spoke to the night. Deep down, he felt sorry for him, but he was still skeptical.
How do I know you aren't just going to use me as a means to an end?
He asked. Blake turned back to face him, but didn't answer. Caleb's eyes opened.
So much for dreams of Lisa.
He laughed. A new day called, and hopefully there were answers to be found.